Hey everyone. So today I'm working on my wife's Dodge Charger. It's the V6. It's a GT Plus all-wheel drive. The oil cooler and filter housing is leaking. So I got to replace that today with some new gaskets. It's the aluminum version, so it's made by Dorman, I do believe. It should be. I've had the intake off before and trying to track down this leak. Other than that, so here we go. So I already got the engine cover off. I already started taking this off, of course. There's a few bolts in this thing that kind of make things difficult. Should just pop right off. There it goes. Don't forget the mass airflow sensor like I did. There we are. Set that off to the side. Now, and I'm trying to remember too, it's been a while since I've had this thing apart. Pretty much everything are these tiny little guys. I believe it's the same as this one. Hey, what do you know? So of course it's an 8mm, and I'm gonna need to go get a longer extension on this because there's a few nuts and bolts that are kind of a pain to get to. Come on. Alright, I'll have to go get that real quick. Okay. Got my extension. Come on. And then that just peels off of here. And then this guy comes off. This has to come off. Come on. There we go. Alright, so let's see here. What else do I got going on? That. You have to get... There's some hidden bolts that are on this thing. That just makes it difficult. And one of the wires connects to the stud back here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it goes back right back there. Alright, cheer. And of course, yes, I am wearing one of Bleepin' Jeep's shirts. Of course, I like his channel as well. I've been watching him for quite some time, and he started out doing the same thing I'm doing, how-to videos, that kind of stuff. Okay. So if you want to see anything Jeep related, he's pretty much the guy to go to. Off-road Jeeps anyway, you know, fabrication, that kind of stuff. Oh, come on, go on there. There we go. Loosen up. Nice thing is on this car, there's really no rust. It came from Florida. Of course, now it's up north with us. I just hope it never gets any rust, or I'll have my work cut out for me later on in the years. What size is this one? There. It's a 10 mil. So I've never been able to perfect how some guys can sit there and take a look at a nut or a bolt and go, oh yeah, it's this size. I've never been able to do that. I envy the guys that can do that. My dad, he could look out, he can do that, and I've just been in awe. My micrometer can get me close though. Alright, that comes off. There's still a wire that connects to the back. I'll just flop it off to the side. Yeah, but this, I don't want that to come out there. I want it to come out the back. That's what I want. And they may make pliers for pulling these hoses. Ooh. Nope, not a bleeder. Make it easier to pull that stuff apart. I've just never purchased any. And roundy we go. Ooh, that come out. It's not supposed to. Alright, let's get you back over here. I kind of have the car up in the air, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to get to some of this stuff, because I did drain the oil. You have to pull the oil cooler, or it is part of the oil cooler, so there is an antifreeze, and I'm just going to let it drain through the block, out the drain pan, or the oil pan, out the plug, and change the oil afterwards. So, you want to say hi to YouTube, hon?
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Have any problems?
No.
Good. Glad to hear it. Okay, that should have one more that I'm missing somewhere. That one. That's right, it's over here. I think she was a little bashful. She's never been on a YouTube before. Of course, I haven't been on it very much either, but those are 10 mils. Ooh, it's getting windy. Right over here, there are a couple nuts that we gotta get. Hold the intake on. And this one over here. Alright. There we go. She's loose. Disconnect the breather. So this goes down over to the transmission. And they just have a T on it for some reason. And there. Alright. This whole thing should come off. Lift up this way. What am I hanging up on? That feels like... there we go. Alright, so... of course we got new gaskets for it, so we're going to pluck these out now. I need to grab some shop towels to put down in the intake. And then you have to disconnect the injectors. Pull this out of the way here. Which, Dodge, why? I mean, foam, why? Alright, we need to disconnect all these. Which I broke one over there. Let's see if we can't get those apart. Better go grab those. Get in the way of the sound quality. I'm just in a carport, so there we go. Pull that up, disconnect that. You have to disconnect the fuel lines. There we go, get that out of the way. You can see where I broke it. Well, I guess you can't. You're over there. Pop this sucker up. If I can get to it. Ow. There. And of course, I've been doing this kind of this for a long time before I had an actual tool for it, which I should go grab. It'd make my life a lot easier. There it is. The tool that I needed. To the other side here. There. I probably have to go grab a pick for that one. So as you can see, it's really not that involved so far. There's just a lot of stuff to unhook. Well, actually, there's really not a lot of stuff to unhook either. I hate to contradict myself, but this one, when I was trying to figure out where the leak was, I ended up breaking the little lock tab on this one. It still works. Come here. There we go. This one right here, you see I broke the lock tab right there, but it still works. I mean, there's no sense of replacing it if it works. Of course. Whew! That spooked me a bit. You gotta get the fuel line unhooked. Which, if I remember correctly, undo this guy there, and then push that tab in, and it should come off. There we go. Yep, a little bit of spritz of fuel, and there we go. Fuel line unhooked. And then you go the roundy way again on this one. And this is aluminum, so whenever you go to tighten it back up, you don't want to over tighten it, because then you could strip it and then you're really in trouble. Whew. There we go. I know there's a tightening sequence on this and you're supposed to go the opposite, but I'm a rebel. That's loose. That one's loose. Two more to go. And if I remember right, it's like 53 inch pounds, which comes up to like 6 or 5 foot pounds. Not a whole lot holding that on. Pull this up. I can get it out of here. Yeah, it's hooked on that. I'm going to disconnect that. What else am I hooked on? Oh, I forgot about that little guy. Oh, another one right here you gotta get. Oh, there we go. Come on. Come on out. There we go. There. Let that sit on over here, drain that fuel out. Gaskets look good. I don't see any signs of leakage. Yeah, look at all that oil that goes into your valve train. Valves look good since it's port injection. But all this oil is getting reburnt. So this is what we're after. This is their oil cooler. So I need to grab some of these shop towels here. It's the last thing you want. Drop something down there. And then it'll be a tow truck and or pull the heads off, which I just don't want to do. Fold them up nice and neat, cram them in there. Just anything to keep the foreign debris out. And then we'll clean up the oil that's sitting on top. And don't forget to take these out when you could decide to reassemble, and when you reassemble, or you're going to have all sorts of issues. I've heard of people doing it. I haven't done it yet, and I sure don't want to start. There we go. Okay, so take that guy off for these. I'm sure it's the same as get this light in a better spot here. The intake and everything else, since it's going into aluminum. Ooh, that is not tight at all. There we go. Yeah, they're not tight at all. makes me worry. But stop recording. I don't know what it did. It just like did something. Beeped at me. Alright. This one. This is right here. There we go. So 5 of those. Oh, there we go. Oh, one right here, 6. I saw antifreeze coming out from underneath it, so we're already loose. There we go. Oh, there we are, and we're up. Got the little alignment pins and everything. Drop her back on. By the way, I am not a mechanic. I just try to do everything myself. Huh. The camera's acting funny. That's the second time it's stopped recording and restarted. Alright. Alright. Take a quick break here. Be right back. Alrighty. Got it all put back together. All the fun wahoozits and hoses and guessets and all that fun stuff. Get you moved around here a little bit. There we go. There you are. Yep, got it all back together. Just got to put the air cleaner intake back on it, that thingy-mabob, and then the decorative engine cover. I am a quart shy on oil. And then it'll be a test drive. I'm not going to bore you with that, because everything's back together. So it's pretty simple, really. I mean, to me anyway. If you want to give it a shot, go for it. If you like what you saw, like, subscribe. Of course, like I said, I'm wearing a Bleepin' Jeep t-shirt. Those guys are pretty good fellas there. And they got a good channel too. So of course, all the other off-roaders, like, you know, Matt's Off-Road and Trailmater, Fab Rats, those guys. Robbie Layton. But they're more into the four-wheeling stuff. And so am I. I got a RZR. But you'll see more of that stuff later on. I plan on making a video. I gotta do some maintenance to the RZR. Gotta do a lot of maintenance to the camper. And it looks like I'm losing. There we go. About ready to lose my microphone here. So if you like what you see, please like, subscribe. Of course, as time goes on, hopefully everything will get better. The channel will improve. As of right now, it'll be slow going, only on the weekends, that kind of stuff. But if I can get monetized, well then, of course, then I'll have money to throw at these projects. The plan is, eventually, if I get monetized, build a shop and get more creative. I want to build a camper from the ground up, which that would be a great video. And then everybody could see that, what it takes, what's involved, that kind of stuff. And of course, everything else that goes along the way of everything. So yeah, like, subscribe, please. And we'll see you guys on the next video.